come back to my environment here now. All right, so yeah, I have my so this is my make or my workstation, right? So like so most of these devices here, so they are yeah, meant for separate specific purposes, right? So there are some yeah, so I can when I turn on, maybe I want to access someone's device outside my workstation, someone would access when it's up, when I'm up, right? So because accessibility has been given, right? So I just need internet access and they will go via maybe VPN or so whatever because it has been configured for that. So I just turned on the ones that are will want to just use I want to use to demonstrate packets capturing or packet analysis, right? So beyond our workstation, right? So beyond our workstation, so because one of the thing we do, right? Because in cybersecurity we have different fields, right? So like we or different let's say niche or areas in the in cybersecurity entirely, right? So we have the malware analyst guys. We also have the security analyst, right? So we the security analyst, right? So they want to always analyze what's going on in the network. They want to capture, they want to, at times they get to look out for logs, right? So, yeah, digital forensics guys too can still handle logs, yeah, so to an extent. So what all of these areas fits are very, very important, right? So we want to ensure that there's, um, are you with me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, so we want to ensure that um, data at rest, data in transit, right? So they are safe, secured, and we are monitoring what is coming into our network, right? So and going out of our network, right?
Yeah.
So very, very important because most times, right? So like we have the detection aspect, we have the recovery, we have the mitigation aspect of cybersecurity, right? Just like yeah, like we have the defense and the analysis. So all of these chains they are very very important, right? So one area most people would overlook it's analyzing packets, right? So analyzing packets flowing in and out of our network, right? So there are a couple of tools, right? So commands or ways in which we can analyze or monitor packets, right? So as this maybe the security analyst in that organization, right? So we want to be monitoring what's going on in real time, what is happening in real time, right? So packet that are being sent or being that comes into our network, right? So because most times in our organization we might not be looking at the system, right? So like 100 like from morning to night you just focus on the system without taking off your eyes from the system and say, oh, we are monitoring the packet. So that's why we always want to filter, we always want to search, we want to maybe concentrate on certain protocols, right? We want to concentrate on certain services, right? So it might not be all of the service, or we say, okay, in this network, we are only allowing certain protocols or certain services or resources. So that's our area of concentration, and that's what will be monitored, even in allowing some of these resources or protocols, right? So people tend to even either overmask it or the they allow, let's say we align a protocol like a telnet or even though it's telnet because it's completely out of it, right? So let's say allowing like RDP, right? So our network entirely, right? So we still need to add some layer of security. So someone that is monitoring, right? Someone that is monitoring would definitely know that anyone that is being given access via RDP, there are certain layers of security that should be added. So when we monitor, if security is not put in place, when we capture a protocol that is being utilized at the moment, it doesn't mean that we have captured and we've seen the flaw, or we've seen that someone is using telnet in our organization when it's not supposed to use telnet, and it doesn't mean that you've stopped that maybe any action, right? So that has been taken by the person. So you have monitor. So what we do when we monitor network, we tend to um, um, now liaise or relate it with the person in charge of fine tuning or mitigating or making sure that data in transit are secure. Maybe we are deploying like a file integrity or file integrity monitoring tool, right? So, or that would, or let me know, let me just break it down. Let me just bring it down to our firewall, right? So, we can relate it to the person in charge of the firewall and say, please, oh, I saw XYZ, I saw someone, I saw Mr. X using telnets in his network or accessing the device in telnet. Means that he has enabled telnet, which is just secured. It's an unencrypted protocol in our in that router or in that switch. So which doesn't make any sense. So when we monitor, we get to see flaw, and they are separate tools. And most times in penetration testing, it can still be we can in penetration testing, right? So we can still monitor to an extent, right? Because sometimes when we look out for vulnerabilities, right? So we tend to analyze what's going on that device. It might be a particular device, right? So one of the tools we'll be using here, coupled with some other tools. Let me see. Right, so I'll just turn on my advanced IP scanner. Right, so I'll turn on my advanced IP scanner, which you already have. So I would always like that guy to be off. Right, so in every network, right? So in every network, we want as the administrator, or if you are the one monitoring, it's we want to ensure that we are familiar with as a network analyst or security analyst. We are familiar with devices in our network. We know their IP addresses, right? So it's very important. It's something that we learn, right? So, and if you don't understand IP addresses or protocols, right? So it's going to be a challenge, right? So when analyzing packets or monitoring network, right? So we want to let me just check my own IP first before. So so yeah, I have, okay, this is for my Ethernet 3, 10 dots, 50.132. Okay, let me just make do with 50.130, 50.0 network, right? So I have 192.168, 10.245, and this. So I actually don't know which IP is this, but I believe, okay, maybe it's the one that is breached to my wireless, right? So I believe it will be the one breached to my wireless, and so I can confirm that. So I want to just make use of this. Go when I'm monitoring generally, right? So if you're using a tool like maybe SolarWinds network traffic analyzer, right? So the NCA, right? So you can um, configure or your N bar or on a particular, let's say for instance on a router, probably it's that router because everybody in your network, right? So they are connected to the router. So you want to be monitoring only that router alone because the packets, all of their packets or their communication, so going outside and communicating with them, oh, they must go through that router. So you are only monitoring the router, right? So that's another aspect, right? So another thing again, oh, I want to monitor not just via the router now, every user, their IP addresses, right? So every packet coming and out of their their all the devices, right? So then we can now specify the network we belong. So from our device now, because we are not setting up that to monitor from router now, we are monitoring like you have your laptop now, your host. Your host is connected to your wireless router. So you just initiated the network monitoring, so you called it up. So it just starts monitoring for what is going on in your network, right? So because your laptop is connected, so that's all those devices that are connected to your network, right? So their packets will be captured, right? So you are not monitoring straight from the router now, right? So or device your laptop is connected, so you are monitoring from your own laptop, right? So the network you are connected to, right? So it just captures everything. So what we'll be doing now, right? So I've initiated, okay, I've never started the scan. So I want to do a scan, right? So in a case whereby I don't know the IP addresses in my network, right? So I know there are routers, there are switches, there are, let me turn this guy up, right? So there are routers, there are switches, there are um, firewalls, computers, all of those things, right? Name them, continue, just name them. So I want to see all of the devices that are up, right? So I want to see devices that are up, and I also want to see their IP addresses if I'm not familiar with the IP addresses, right? So, but it's it's always good, right? So not just for the guys monitoring the network, in every network that we have connected. So as IT guys, if you can't know all our, you can have like 20 servers, not just local. One server, maybe your app server somewhere in Abuja, your the IP address of another, maybe your FTP server somewhere in. So it's very important to know their IP addresses, right? So yeah, most
Well,
times simple.
can
Huh?
I ask a question?
Yes, please.
Now, the tools that we're using, is it industry standard? Is it what you find? Is it what most organizations use? Or are there different variation, but they do the same thing?
Yeah, no, different variations. So the first thing is understanding what we are trying to do, right? So
No.
you have you have the objectives, right? Then you now know which parts, right? So like advanced IP scanner, right? So we've had sessions with the bank, right? So where they initiated advanced IP scanner to see their devices because I don't someone from a particular bank, right? So the guy he was trying to reach out to the person in charge of the server, but his line wasn't reachable. He's not on seat, right? So they're trying to access the device, right? So but he doesn't know the IP address, the person in charge of that server. So I just saw them called up advanced IP scanner just to check because the guy said he has forgotten that he was not too sure. So he typed two wrong IP addresses. So he just needed to be sure of the IP. So this is one thing that we would use. And then you see Wireshark, it is industrial. Whether you are using PROTG, right, or you are using SolarWinds LTE or whatever. So Wireshark is something you want to use. So it captures packets in real time and it helps you to filter, right? To capture. So then once you now when you now want a much more comprehensive or robust, there's the aspect of integrating other solutions, right? So let's say for example you have SolarWinds, right? So it's a global one, right? So another organization they might not be using SolarWinds, they decide to use something else. But if you give me SolarWinds and I'm familiar with Wireshark, with my knowledge of Wireshark, when you give me SolarWinds, I don't even have it's just me getting also when I familiarize myself with the environment, I already know what I want. I already know what to do. So once you understand how this should be, why we are doing this, you know what to do, right? So it's just a little time to get to understand the environment. So that's why I said, oh, you need to see you see IP addresses, you understand the protocols, understand how data flow, right? So this device is meant for this. So when you understand all of these things, right? So whatever to you, maybe the OEM is providing. So we only, yeah, we'll tell them, okay, these are the things we want to see, right? So then you can now go on to deploying or implementing that solution. So yeah, now like I have are you saying something?
No.
Yeah, so yeah, I have some devices. I mean some devices are up, right? So some of these devices I connected them to several networks, right? So maybe one or two networks. Like this one now, yeah, I think it's connected to two networks. Right. So this one is one. Yeah, this one connected to three networks. This one is probably two networks, right? So now here I've seen their IP addresses in every standard organization, right? So when you initiate or launch your advanced IP scanner, right? So every standard organization that they deal with domain controller, right? So what they would do or you would do there is what you see is chooks at adserver.com or chooks.adserver if it's your if that's your domain name, right? So if you have um uh maybe Peter Paul, right? So it's going to show you or show us their names, right? So respectively, right? So shows the IP addresses, right? So then the manufacturer, we can decide to reduce since this option, so we can okay, this is for okay, this is what I was telling you for the arrow admin, that we can use arrow admin with advanced IP scanner. It's very important. So I've used this before when I was there was a time I traveled to Abuja. So there was this hotel we lodged, right? So like a five, more than five, maybe more than I think, yeah, it should be up to eight, one Barcelona hotel in Abuja, right? So the service, one of the service, the service charge includes free internet access, right? So in that kind of network, me as a cybersecurity person, I won't just connect because it's free. They give me free network, right? So if my there was a time my network was acting up, right? So and on the particular floor I think I was in fifth floor, right? So I had to, it doesn't work well in fifth floor. So I said, let me come to like third floor to use their network, right? So the internet access or connection there, right? So when I connected, right? So at first I didn't connect using VPN, right? So I didn't turn on my VPN, right? So but I just connected randomly. So I need to be very, 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 very. I mean, I will not make any mistake opening confidential sites or platforms, right? So when I know that this network is free, open for everyone, right? So because there are bad guys too in that kind of network, so I have to be security conscious, right? So immediately I connected to the network, right? So I just went straight to my workstation. So whatever I want to do should be on my workstation. I don't know if you get. So I don't want to use my host because my workstation is being natted. So I don't want people to even see what is going on because it's in my workstation. They will not see my IP address, and they will not, if they are using Wireshark or they are doing using any tool, they will not get to capture what is going on my workstation. So if I want them to see what is going on my workstation, that means my workstation, a device on my workstation will be breached to the wireless. So instead of the NAT aspect like yours, which is VMnet 3, right? So that's what I would do. So they would see. So that's one security measure I took. But that was
So sorry, if I want to get this in straight, what you're saying is, using this case study you talked about, when you got to the hotel, you had to use your VMware, right? Rather
yes,
than your host device in order to, because your VM where is natted, right? So they don't get into your system. Is that correct?
yes. So yeah, yeah, that's actually what I did. So if not all, right? So they are all breached straight to my wallet, so you can still capture. Even though this one is natted, if you check, let me show you my adapter, right? So even though it is natted, and it's also, let this one just come up, right? So it's also breach. So if I know that I'll be using this guy, so if I know I'll be using this one, right, for to access all of those platforms, I can come here and just disable this one that is bridge. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. So this one that is bridge now, right? If on my host I can see what I'm doing on this server for my host, right? So if this one is not disabled, right? So if you are connected to the same network my laptop is connected, you can see what is going on my server. If it is not disabled, I don't know if you get. So I'm just giving that. So it's not like, oh, because it's on VM, they will not see it. No, they will still see if I'll have to disable this. All right. So that was the second thing I did. Right. So, but what I first did when I connected, I had to call up advanced IP scanner on my host. Right. So I had to call up advanced IP scanner on my host. Then when I started the scan, right, I've seen the network address, right? So a starting network address, for instance, 192.168.1.0, right? So I've seen it. I say, okay, everybody would have this network address, right? So that's a default class C, right? So that means there will not be more than 254 or 252 or 53, up to 54 computers in that, or devices um, in that network organization. So when I launched started my advanced type scanner, I saw lots of IP devices, IP addresses, lots of device IP addresses, right? So then what I did, looking at them, I was like, wow, wow. So imagine a bad guy will say, he has seen somebody's computer's name. He said, "Oh, Mr. Okoro, empty. This man should have money. Let's focus on his packet. Let's capture. Let's focus when we are monitoring or capturing his packet. And when we are capturing packet, we want to focus on his computer, right? So, or when we are filtering, we want to focus to see what he's doing, to see the website or the platforms he's accessed. I don't know if you get my point. So that advanced IP scanner, right? So use it in two ways, right? So I'm using it, right, to see devices that are connected, and to even know numbers of devices that are connected. But another person coming up with maybe another mindset will say, okay, um let me see the ones that are vulnerable, right? So the ones in the sense based on the names, right? So another thing advanced IP scanner can help us to do, right? If if firewall is disabled on that device, right? So let me still use that Abuja scenario, right? So let's take for instance now I've called up advanced IP scanner, right? So and I also certain devices, different devices, the IP addresses. So what I'll be looking out for the ones that are their firewalls are disabled. So how do I even know, right? So or the ones that shared their network device, right? So they've already shared their network device, or they enabled file sharing, right? So I would see like an icon here. So when you see this icon here, right? So by the left, it's telling you, right? So this one has been shared, right? So okay, let me just show you this. So this is 10.50, right? So not let me not generally shared, right? So there's a part or a folder beneath or that sits behind that particular device that is open and that can be accessible, right? So see this one now, right? So if I want to access this device, it means that I can just right click here, right? So I'll just double click on it, right? So this is something is blocking my screen here. So it's telling me that router OS, right? So you can see now I double clicked, it's taking me to the device. I don't know. So now it's trying to take me to access that device, right? So probably I cannot access the device now, maybe because of I've not checked my network, or well I know it's you see it's taking me to that device. It means it's a device that can be accessed via the web because I'm seeing HTTP router OS, right? So now look at this one here. Here now you can see a whole lot. This is a device. The device was shared, right? So but it's the device that I'm still using actually, right? So now I can access this folder. Imagine someone shared this folder. I just double click and I'm using it. It will take me straight to that person's computer. Then I can drop a malware or drop whatever thing or even copy his documents. So that's why one has to be very careful, right? So when you share your folder or you disable firewall and you're not in the network, you are connected to a public network, right? So it's a very speedy, straightforward thing. Just double click and it will take you in, right? So you can, if RODP is even connected, right? If there's RODP or telnet, you can just right click, use Arrow admin. That's why I say Arrow admin is part of it's like it's integrated onboarded on advanced IP scanner. You just say Arrow admin, then telnet, just do telnet into it, right? So it will just call up your telnet connectivity, right?
What is
So
Telnet, please?
right, so telephone network for remote. We are going to utilize it, right? So to gives you access to devices remotely. It's a protocol, a layer 7 protocol, right? So it's a remote utility protocol, right? So that gives, if I want to access this it's also called virtual telnet type. If I want to access this encryptic router or maybe this device here, I want to telnet into it, right? So I'll just call up my from here. We'll be trying it out. So we'll use PuTTY. You've used PuTTY, right? Before.
Yes.
Yeah, so you just call
Cisco
up
Putty.
PuTTY. Yeah, so PuTTY is part of what you should install on your server. I don't know if you've installed it, right?
No.
So I will confirm, right? So I'll just push it to you. PuTTY is part of what you will install on your server on your Kali, right? So that's why I say I'll still come to your screenshot. I'm just using time to demonstrate or explain one or two things, right? So I can telnet or even do there are several other tools. Yeah, file transfer to that. If so, all of these things is if that device has, right. So I can has an agent, this Arrow admin agent. That's when it will work actually, right? So, but it's using this advanced IP scanner gives us that it gives us that other options of other functionality things that we can do, right? So on that destination or remote device, right? So now, yeah, that's for that. So now let me come to, so I'll call up Wireshark here. So I want to use Wireshark on this. So we'll be using Wireshark. Wireshark is a it's a global tool, and they keep updating, and it's open source, right? So they keep updating, right? So regularly, right? So I have Wireshark here on my Kali, and if you check your Kali too, you have it there by default, right? So we'll be using ETA IP, right? So this is ETA IP, right? So also to use we're using it to analyze or monitor or capture packets in our network, right? So it's on the Linux environment, right? So it's on the Linux environment, and if you look carefully here, you see protocols, right? So we're dealing with protocols, right? Talking about protocols, right? So that's why the OSI model understand when you see all of these protocols, you know, when you see SMB, you know, oh, this is seated where. So what is going on? So when you see ICMP, you know, oh, someone is running a ping and it's layer three protocol, right? So someone is running a ping, uh, so we can come here and decide to we can select the stack or the interface we want to monitor from, right? So now back to this Wireshark. So let me just start off with Wireshark, right? So here we have several um, several network adapters, right? So even the ones that are keep alive or redundant, right? So here we have any, which is like a not a look back. This is a look back here, right? So let me just show you. So this is a look back interface just there, right? So if I have maybe something a device or something I'm hosted that is hosted on my lab, right? So that I access via 127.0.0.1, so I can monitor what is packets on that particular server or maybe web environment using this, right? So, but that's not what we are looking at. So, yeah, this is Ethernet 0. That's my 192.168.50.0. Remember, I say we are capturing what is going on 50.0, right? So, Wireshark is also up on my Kali. On my Windows server, right? So I say we are this is for my own environment because I understand my network. I know where I want to capture packets from. I understand devices, my network. Let me just use that one, right? So I know the network address that we are using in our network, right? So that's why I say we are using 50.0, right? So and this server has 50.132. So that means anywhere I see 50.132, I know is my server, right? So anywhere I see, let me see this one. So let me check the IP address of this one, right? So this is 50. I should see 50 here. So 50.151. So I believe the advanced IP scanner would have captured 50.151 as well, right? So that's okay. This is it here. So this is Kali, right? So we have captured 50.151, right? So now back to this Kali and then the Wireshark. Right, so now this is 50.0 network. So if I double click here, it means that I want to capture activities going on that 50.0 network. Do you know that your laptop can be connected to three networks at the same time, right? So how your laptop can be connected to another network via cable, right? Your laptop can be connected to another network via wireless, right? So you want to capture activities going on in the wireless network. So you just hover your mouse here because you know the network address. Just double click and it starts capturing activities or packets going and out of that particular network. If it is the 10 dots or the second one, right? So you can double click and it starts capturing, right? So the good thing with Wireshark is that you can call up more than one, two, three, and it's it makes sense, right? So when you get to utilize it properly is when you call up more than two, three, four, right? So because you can decide to be featuring, querying, and doing a query on a particular one, using maybe a particular IP address or port or protocol. Then this one will be a particular service or IP address like that. So you don't have to be stopping and starting, and it's fine. It doesn't respond immediately, right? So this is another adapter, right? So but there's no IP address here. So this one is 10.212. That's on the 10.0 network. So should I start? Okay, let me just start the capturing, right? So right, so yeah, it showed 50.2. I know 50.2 is my gateway. I've already seen it before, right? So now let me just do a quick walkthrough on this aspect here. So it's Wireshark. It's used for packet analysis, capturing packets, right? So in a network, right? So most times before you even come to securing, or security is not something you do and you've done once and for all. Or you say you don't come back to adjusting, relaxing, or hardening your tightening your security policies, right? So sometimes it's based on what you're monitoring that will not determine or tell you, oh, you need to do this, you need to add this, you need to block this person, you need to, all of those things are very important. That's why we need to always, it's very important to monitor. And monitoring, Wireshark monitors in real time, right? So one of the it's not a disadvantage, right? So it's it will not specify, oh, you're capturing a particular device, right? So you can filter that device IP, right? So, or you can focus on that device IP. So but immediately you turn it on, you can't even say you're watching for morning to night to see what if there is anything that you see as a red flag here, then you report, right? So no, you always want to do your filtering, right? Just type that protocol or type the user's IP address. So it will take you to filter that person's IP. Right. So now, but understanding the Wireshark environment, so all of these things you see here, the menus, these icons, they are pretty straightforward. So they are, once you hover your mouse on it, you get to see what this one is meant for, what this one is meant for, what this one is meant for. At times, when you are not monitoring, that's when you get to some icons will get to be activated, right? So and then you can add or remove some menus here. But always would want to go through this with you, the preference aspect of it, right? So this here determines what you would see, adjustments you want to make on the Wireshark environment or the interface, right? So the colors, if you say you don't like these colors for HTTP, you can change it. Or you don't like these colors for, you don't like this layout, you can change it here via preference, right? So things that would happen where you save your packets after you, or when you stop your capturing, right? So you want to save the entire packet that has been captured, where it to be saved. So this is where you do it. So you would come here and review all of this window. I mean, or this particular reference. So this is the aspect for column. Since I don't want to see here, I look at this. I don't want to see, this is number, time, source IP address. I was telling you the other day that that was yesterday or 2 days ago, that 151, you can see 151 is here, right? The source, right? And you can see it here in destination. So as we are talking, you are responding, right? There's a feedback to me, right? So you are destination and I'm source. I'm source, you are destination. So if I don't want to see destination, I just only want to see source, I disable this one. But I don't want to see number, because this number starts counting 51, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, tells you the numbers of packets that has been captured, right? So and even keep alive packets too, it counts it, right? So information, right? So gives us details on just a little view on what that particular um packet or that line is talking about. So it should just give you a little of it. So that's the information, right? So the length, either in bytes, right? So the protocol, very important. In fact, one of the important aspects here is this protocol. So even though if everything is enabled, protocol is not enabled, right? So protocol and info, they are very, very important. Same with source and with IP address. But protocol is very, very important. The protocol that tells you, oh, that particular service, right? So because as security professionals, when you're monitoring network, you're not just monitoring physical, you're not monitoring the devices that are much more expensive. You're not monitoring the ones that are maybe the Dell or the computer and their names, right? So you want to see what they are doing, and what they are doing or what is going on. They are like services, they are protocols, right? So because that's what an attacker or a hacker, the black hat would use, right? So when they see that this is open, this port is open, right? So that's what they would want to use. So when they are monitoring the network, right? So in that place I was at Abuja, in that lodge, right, where I saw a whole lot of IP addresses. After monitoring, if I see a certain protocol coming from a particular IP address, which advanced IP has showed me, right? So okay, this person is doing XYZ, because physically I can't know what the person is doing, right? So I don't even know what the website is accessing. So I need tool that will monitor the activities, right? So when I'm monitoring the activities, what they are doing now is either HTTP, or they are doing FTP, or they are doing anything, any protocol, any service. So it's tied to a protocol, right? So now here we have fonts, we can reduce and change this, right? So anything here, we can play around all of these aspects. So the layout, so how it will be aligned, right? So we can show packet separator. So I don't really like touching with this, except I want to. It's becoming too, maybe the what I am actually looking for sometimes, it's becoming annoying. Can just redefine or structure this again to my own test. So I don't want this to show. I don't want this. So that's when I can always come here. But why should they make it much user friendly and interactive, right? So if you want to do expert mode, right, so you come here too. So then okay, we are now we have the protocol aspect, right? So here we have several protocols are a whole lot, right? So protocols, there are some protocols, me myself, I don't even know when I will use them. I just know them maybe based on research on, or I've seen them, right? So pegged to a particular device. I don't even know what they are meant for, right? So, and then there are well-known protocols and there are known protocol. I mean, there are well-known protocols and there are unknown protocols, right? So, most of these protocols here, they are well-known and they are unknown, right? So, they are different. There are protocols that their port numbers are just kind of, let's say, um, they are not predefined or pre-installed on certain device, right? So you have to either manually put them, right? So if a device has a template of protocols that are acceptable, right? So there are some that are not even there. You have to add it up, right? So all these protocols here. Okay, let's see the one that we are familiar with, or maybe the one we've talked about in during our course of. So we have ETM. Apologies for that. But you can still see I've shared my screen. You can see my
Yes,
screen, right?
I can see.
All right, so I was just looking at some of the protocols like BGP, border gateway protocols, and you see them with their certain port numbers, right? So, so all these are just several protocols. There is even the one we saw. What's the name? ICMP2 is categorized as protocol, right? So there is DHCP, right? So DHCP here, that's on. It's there's FTP, right? So FTP, file transfer protocol, port 21. There's Telnet, there's DNS 53. There's a whole lot of protocols. So any protocol that is being utilized, any of these protocols that is being utilized, LDAP too, right, which is lightweight, right? So for domain, right? So if you want is being utilized, right, you will get to see it. IODP is also here. LLC that we saw for layer 2, right? Logical link control, right? So it's also here, right? So there are a lot of protocols you can see. So Wireshark would capture all of them, right? So Wireshark would capture all of them. But you take note, the protocols that are being utilized. So these protocols are there, right? So if they are not being utilized, there's no way to be seen here, right? So we don't capture what is not going on, or what we don't have presence in our network at that moment, right? So what we do, right? So because when we are monitoring network, we might not see a particular protocol. We must have missed a particular protocol that um, that seems to be, like I said earlier, like a red flag. So we can always come here and see, oh, let me see telnet. Somebody use telnet. Right. So once it changes to green, it means that it is okay. Right. So if it's still showing red, it means that what you're typing is not correct. And the good thing is there's always a guide when you are featuring. So whenever you type anything, there's always something that will tell you, oh, what you can type in addition. Right. So now we are going to do this. Let me see if my okay. Let's start with HTTP. So let me call up my. I always like to use. Let me use Mozilla. I always like to use Google Chrome. Right. So, but I have over 100 web pages I've opened on 3 windows. So it might just take some time to load. Let me use my Mozilla Firefox. I believe there's internet. This one is also showing that I should restore. So I know my Kali shut down, or my system went off, so it shut down some of the things I was doing on the Kali
Okay.
10 days ago. I don't want it to load up much, right? So, but let me use this guy because it's not tied to a particular account, so but I can still use it. So okay, let's just use. We want to test out HTTP. So I'll be using this website, right? So testfire.net, right? So now I've opened testfire.net. Wireshark will capture. Hey, what Wireshark? If I may ask, what will Wireshark capture? Right. So since I've opened up testfire.net on my web browser, so which protocol with Wireshark capture?
Since you've opened up what protocol?
I've opened up um, a website, a web traffic on my website on my browser. So if Wireshark could capture it, which protocol?
Capture if it HTTP. So if it's S, it's gonna be port 80.
Okay, X with not the 80 actually. So I know you made a mistake. So ordinary HTTP is 80. So
Yeah. Oh, S is what was it?
442.
443. Yes. S is
So
443.
so we already saying we're saying TCP, we are saying so the essence of this information here, right? So even at the glance, you know that we can't just stop a search. But once you stop, you've stopped, right? So you can always just scroll up to pause. When you scroll up, you just pause. I really don't like stopping. That's why I always like to open multiple. Let me even open 2 more. Open multiple Wireshark from experience. So I feel like at times I feel like, oh, this one is not really. I'm looking at something here. Let me look at something else on this other one. So let me even call up another one. Wireshark is so user very interactive. So call up another one here. Like that. So this is 10. So I'm still monitoring for 50. Right. So let me go back to that first one I was doing. Right. So now this is what is happening, right? So I have um accessed an unsecured protocol, which is using this, which is HTTP, right? So it's HTTP or other HTTPS. We have to confirm, right? So, but let's that's HTTP. So we want to confirm if someone has accessed any unsecured protocol. So, but take note: accessing unsecured protocol doesn't mean you're vulnerable already, right? So what you do on that. Let me know this also unsecured protocol, unsecured platform, maybe which is HTTP, unencrypted platform, which is unencrypted web environment, which is HTTP. So what you do on that, or what you details, or what you do activities that is being performed on that platform, right? So we'll get to now, inspect them using Wireshark. Oh, you see this website, right? So their environment, their cookies, right? So okay, let's sign in now. Let's sign in, right? So let's sign in. So let's just say admin um password is admin as well. So then I log in, right? So I've logged in, right? So Wireshark still capturing HTTP, right? it's still capturing HTTP, right? So now we can always just comment to know that, oh, someone, anybody that's maybe they've accessed unsecured protocol, right? So I just do HTTP and hit enter. So it's going to show me, oh, this is 50.151. This device accessed unsecured protocol. This is the destination IP address. You can see it's a public IP address, right? So this protocol that was accessed, and you can see there's a get login request. So this is a post request. Right, so telling me that credential was something, or yeah, maybe credential was posted. So I can come here and say follow TCP stream, right? So follow TCP stream, right? So this gives me details of that platform. So let me start from the top here, right? So the platform, okay, the application that was used to access it here is the agent is Mozilla. You can see testfire.net, right? So you can copy all of this. If you want to clone this website, you can copy all of this. All these things here say that they are unsecured. We're not supposed to see this on a website, right? We're not supposed to see this on the website, right? So because it's unsecured, right? So and we can clone this. If somebody provided password on this website, you can come here and just type password, right? So just keep typing password. If you provided, if the person provided password or maybe bank details is on that website, you can just search bank, right? So if you can search bank, right? So you can see there's bank here. If there's a bank, anything that has to do with bank, right? So you can build and clone and focus on that. So now let me see another one, right? So um something here is blocking this seems it's blocking my screen. So let's see which one did I, okay, let me see this one. Right, so let's see. Oh, it's the same thing, though, the same IP, the same test file, because I've already said follow TCP stream. Right, so let's see. So it's the same thing, right? So it's the same thing here. You can see here it's showing the username, right? The username that was provided, user admin, then password admin, right? So it's going to show us review these things in plain text, still unsecured. If I don't want to, if I just want to go straight up to the maybe I don't know if there's password provided, right? So I'll just say username, then search. So it will take me to everywhere someone provided username. See, I'll get there, right? So might be a bit flexible. When someone wants to hack, hacking doesn't, or wants to compromise something, right? So it's not just immediately. You have to be patient, right? So you have to be patient. Or if you're looking for vulnerabilities or loopholes, you still have to be patient. So it might not capture immediately, right? So as I'm hitting enter now, it's not taking me there. So when I scrolled, I just saw it immediately, right? So now another thing we can do, right? So another command, instead of typing HTTP there, right? So but it's not all Wireshark that these filters. You can do TCP contains anything on that platform, right? So maybe username, right? So TCP contains has to do with TCP. Just say TCP contains username, right? So anywhere that username was provided, right? So just come here and say TCP stream, right? So it's going to show us um, the username and password, same username and password that was provided. Probably I passed it, right? So or it's somewhere here. Okay, this is it again, right? So TCP contains username, so it just takes us straight to um that same platform where username was provided. So in that network, someone that provided, what it means is that in that in its TCP or in that network, if someone provided a password in a platform that somebody provided username or password, so we only want to see it. So it captures it for us. So that's one aspect. So I'll just stop here now, right? So I want to ensure that you have something to do before we meet again, right? So because I've been asked to push one task to you, so I just want you to get your hands. I wanted to talk on something. Okay, right. So we looked at it at your own end, right? So I wanted to access this Mikotic or look. So let's just use the Mikotic at your own end. You can hear me, right, Mr. Chooks?
Yes, so
Please just go ahead and share your screen, and you give me let's say just a few minutes. Let me just get water and then check what's happening at your end. That has been installed already.
Mhm.
You know the updates that you're doing.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know why he's still bringing up this.
Yeah, you can start your scanning. Okay, before you scan, right? So let's see the IP address on your Mikotic router. Not your Mikotic, sorry, the Kali.
What's it again? Is it IP configuration?
iPhone fix.
IP or IF?
I
No.
and so 50. I just wanted to confirm that it's on the 50 part, 50 network. So now come to your Windows server. So run the advanced IP scanner. You can start the scan. Right, so the Wireshark installing is it done?
No.
Right, so now come to your Kali. Let's do carry out an update. So just do a sudo apt update on your Kali. Please check the last one. I think we've installed this before.
Yeah, I don't
Just
know.
check that last button, last box. So do um go to your Kali and let's do an update. It's just sudo apt update. That's my makes sense.
Yeah. Sudo update.
Sudo apps updates. Oh, you get that?
What?
Sudo apps updates.
Yeah, I did
All
it.
right. So okay. Can you restart this Kali? Just restart this Kali. So I need to be sure of something. To be sure that just do the restart from the Kali outside
I've
the
done it.
environment. Just right click on it.
I've done it.
All right, so let's your Kali. Let's be on your Kali. All right, so do the sudo apt updates. Let me confirm. Do apt updates. So yeah, updates. All right, so now hold on. Let me get that error. So can't be done. So there is an error um which is linked or tied to the error code. Okay, screenshot this. Send it to me via Telegram. Okay, don't worry. I can make it. I can see it very well. Don't worry. I can zoom from my own end. I can make it bigger. Okay, page. Okay. So take this. When you ping, you open another terminal. When you ping to Google DNS, open web browser. See if you can browse. Just do a continuous ping to 8.8.8.
So I said that again.
Ping 8.8.8.8. Just go to your browser. Try to browse.
On the Kali.
Yes, on the Kali. Let's try to browse. No, no. Just try to browse. Yeah, it's going to now open a new tab and say just do testfire.net. Yeah, testfire.net. All right. So open a new tab. What is the name of that? Your VBSCA. Um, I, I said I check my URL to confirm that. Well, we can use this. We can use this. All right. So we can use. We just need one HTTP right now. This is just for HTTP, right? So now let's try another traffic coming out from maybe telnet. So call up. You don't have PuTTY, right? So let's quickly let me share PuTTY with you. Let me share PuTTY with you. See. Let me share put on your. Let me share put in. So you can. Let's see. Where do I have it? Okay. Let's see. Are you sure you don't have Putty installed on your
I don't
server?
think so.
Yeah, so kindly download and install it on your server. So you would also be installing it on your Kali. So this one is for the Windows. Copy it to your setup.
You said I'll be
This
installing
is
it where?
on your server. So copy the setup and take it to that your setup folder on your
Oh, answer.
on your on your on your server. You have a folder
Yeah.
where you kept some of these tech tools.
I have put it here.
See? That's why I was saying that I just at times I'll just kind of record things that you check if you've installed it. It's not just having it set up. But when I was asking, you said you've not.
So do
For
I go ahead and install?
just check, like click on start and confirm that you've installed it. No, without installing, since you have it there, probably you've installed it. If you've not installed, then you can now install this one. So there's no to give you the
I don't think it's installed.
you don't have to like have you searched for it? Not it being on your desktop now. Like go to search for Putty. Alright, so go ahead and install then. Go ahead and install. Right, so next. I just hope all the checks out. Okay, okay. So just check that view me box.
Which one?
So no, you've already checked it, so it has popped up here with this with me. So now you can confirm the putty. Just launch the putty. Close this readme file. Close the readme file. The notes part file. Alright, so that's fine. So now do the win box is there, right? So now call up the win box. So let's use it to access the Microtik router. So you're going to call up 2 or 3 Wireshark on your server. Let Wireshark be running like 3 times. Starts capturing. You understand?
So
So we just
what do you want me to do now?
call up another Wireshark and start capturing. So we want the two of them to be capturing. So you know where to start the capture, right? So you look at the particular adapter.
Yeah. So it's 50 dots.
Yeah, just double click on it. So you will call up another Wireshark, do the same thing. Hope you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So on that particular adapter, just we call up another one, you get.
Mm-hmm.
Notice that it's capturing ICMP. So if you trace down, you see that the ICMP is from a certain IP address, someone that is running a ping, ICMP which is ping, right? So now we mean that somebody in your network is running a ping to 8.8.8. You know, from your card, you're running a ping to 8.8.
Yeah.
So just open up another one. Because once you filter, let this one be for this protocol, let this one be for this. Right, so that filtering to Wireshark without filtering is useless. Right, so it's not like Nmap that you just scan for a particular service or port or IP, right? So you don't see that, you will not get much more.
This one,
Right?
same.
Same, yeah, same, yeah, same. Well, same interface or same ports or network adapter, but we are monitoring different services. So so now let's go to your Winbox, right? Right. So yeah, you have. So now do that refresh again. You know, the last time I explained to you the Winbox is used to access specific device. Want to configure the device. You use Winbox. So now come to tools. Confirm that it's still on legacy. The tools at the top. Yeah. So it's still on legacy. Right. So now come back to neighbor. I mean manage. Then neighbor. So let's see. Right, so refresh. Right, so you can close the Winbox and launch it again. So mm, go to tools. Alright, it's not showing again. Restart your Mikrotik router. Go to the Mikrotik router. Let me see. See, it's not up yet. That's why. Yes, you can see right. Right. So did you just turned it on, right?
Turn it on when I turned on others.
Yeah. So the what's it called? The It was suspended before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I wanted to suggest maybe we just restart it once and for all. I know it took time that day, but let's just restart it once and for all.
All
So
right.
let it restart. So why this one is Right, so it's coming up. So now just yeah, I want us to telnet into it, right? So I want to use some protocols, DNS, HTTP, ICMP. We can do RODP even to your server. If your Windows 10, right, so this to would have access to Windows 10, if you want to from your Windows 10 RODP to your server, right? So someone from Kali, I mean someone using Wireshark from your Kali can capture that. You are using a user in our environment, which is the client's PC, Windows 10 is remotely accessing the server via RDP. So Wireshark will capture that, right? So RDP. So because RDP is encrypted, right? So it will not show us the password in plain text, but it will give us show us the status of connection and some other necessary information. So um back to your server, why this one is coming up? Or let's say let's use your the one on your Kali. Let's start with the HTTP. So let's use the one on your Kali. Right. So I know you've accessed this fire.net already. So hit enter or click the black screen. No, click the black screen. Probably it's sleep or something. Let your password disappear. Yeah. So enter your password. All right. So now let's see the Wireshark what you're capturing. No, no. Okay, you've not called up Wireshark on your card.
No, no, no.
Call it up. Call it up. Call it up. Just call up like two. Let's just start capturing what's going on. Actually wanted to start with just to see telnets in action. Right. So since the project is still struggling, coming up.
That's right. Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. So we want them to on one network.
So I go ahead and open another one.
Yeah, open another one. Yep, yep, yep. So that's fine. So now go to your web browser where you provided where you access the test file. So just provide your password. So the logon name. So as me we are doing web app pen tests, maybe using WebSuite or any of those. So we can now go further to intensify on the penetration testing. Now that we've seen the username and password, there are some other information we might want to see on this website or information we want to steal on this website. Then we can now use such stuff. Right, so for now, we're just monitoring using Wireshark, right, to capture credentials. So this credential can be used to have access to this platform. So provide the password is so the default username and password. I think it's admin. Oh, I don't. Yeah, I think it's admin. Okay. So don't save it. So you just come to the Wireshark. Just come to the Wireshark. You know, online I did HTTP, right? So you can do TCP contains, or you can do um yes, TCP contains username or password, or you can do TCP dot ports equal to 80 if it's for port 80, right? So let's just do port 80. So it's not UDP related anything. So it's just TCP, right? So or you just do HCP. So anyone, either you do TCP dot port equal to 80, right? So or you do HTTP, right? So you just go ahead. But let's no need for the UDP. Did you get what I said?
Say that again.
You've already searched queried you filtered TCP dot ports
Yeah,
equal to 80. So I said there's no need for
UDP.
UDP, right? So no streaming from a non-secure platform is ongoing, right? So is either you do TCP dot port equal to 80, or you just type only HCP. I don't know if you get.
Mm.
All right. So now look at your screen currently now. If you see HTTP get login, can you see it?
Yeah.
Right click on it. Yeah. So right click on it. Then say follow. Either you say TCP or HTTP stream. Yeah. So anyone, right? So it just tells you the it gives you all of those HTTP codes parameters on the website, right? So the server is Apache, everything, even from the top, even there's a JSON, um, uh,
Good.
there's a cookie connection, keep alive. All this information are not meant to be seen, right? So it just let us know that the website is not secure, test fire. So all of this information, and we can copy all of this and take it to Notepad, save it or Notepad plus plus or Sublime, and save it with dots HTML, right? So we keep working on that. We are kind of cloning the website, set it up for. Then once we host it, we host it locally, right? So we can use Apache is an unsecured web server, or so together with IIS, Internet Information Service, right? So when we host it locally, right, people that accesses such website, so every of their information, bank details, or everything is being saved or recorded, right? So because we have the at the back end of it, we've already programmed and set up all the database, and everything is it's on our end, right? So that's one of the disadvantage of, or that's one of the alarm we told, or the awareness, right? So when we see such thing, we can call and or let's inform the necessary department. So if you scroll down, you should see like a credential or a password. I believe this will show us the password that you provided. Right, so this will show us the password you provided. So just scroll down, imagine. So every information here it's on that website. So this is and search for it, login, password. So yes, you hit enter like that, like that, like that. Go on. It's something you just hit enter. It take you like page by page. If you already feel added. Are you still scrolling? Because I stopped.
Yeah, I'm still scrolling.
Okay, so just go on and on. Go on. In fact, it's like the Wireshark. You post it initially or something, or you scrolled up to post, then you post or something. Continue.
No, we did the TCP stream now.
Okay,
That's why
just
we.
continue.
That's what brought us here.
Okay. Well, your screen. I just saw that it's when you want to filter. If you've not hit enter, probably you did enter after you've searched. You filtered.
Yes.
If it will not pause, I don't know if you get. That was what you did, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But I just noticed. I just saw now that it's already stopped. Right. So scroll up. Like so, I want to be sure that this is the actual filter for it. Right. So up again. So there's a red and there's a blue. Send and receive. Right. So the response the user provides. Right. So be on red. Okay. So I don't think it's here because majorly it's always on the red color. That's why I was even able to identify that because I was just focusing on areas that I have red that will show maybe like a password dump.
Yeah.
You understand? So if you can do a quick scroll anywhere you have red down there, you can just pause a little and see if there's any credential. You understand?
There's
So
no.
all right, so now close this one. So just close this one. Just this window. Just this window. Alright, so now open another Wireshark. No, hold on. Open another Wireshark. The one the another one, yes. You're capturing from the other one. I think it's the next one. Not this one. The next one. The next one. This one should still be running.
Yeah, still running.
Yes. So now let's do just type HTTP. Alright, so just HTTP hit enter. Just hit enter. Alright, so now see post login. Can you see post login? Right click
Mhm.
on that one. There is get login in front. So just do HTTP stream. HTTP stream. Alright, so okay, this is the username and password there. So just come down a little, you will see the user identity. No, you don't need to scroll, it's there already. Have you seen it? The last red line. The last red lines. Yeah. So you to capture the and then the server as well. Right. So the location is where it's resides. So the data and evidence information. So the time this was provided. So if you come to your Let's see your Mikotic router. If it's up, still loading, it really takes time. Now go to the Kali, back to the Kali. Right, so you can close just this. You can close. Okay, what I want you to do, I just take a screenshot of this. Just take a screenshot of this. Like, let's take a screenshot of this. So in case, let's take it. So then I would even prefer it covers your workstation.
Okay.
Yeah, this one, yeah, it covers your workstation. So this, yeah, so know that yeah, it's coming from this. Yeah, that's fine. So you can just save it. Got it? Just got it. So save it. Just give it Wireshark. You should just go and stay on your desktop. So Wireshark spotted result or something or password. Anything, any name you know you. Just let it be JPEG instead of PNG. Right, so that's fine. Um, you can close that first field. That's what you queried. Close that one. Right, so just that one. So now, yeah, where you have no, what are you closing? I thought,
I closed the snipping to
I thought it was the
Kali, the
yeah
Wireshark.
other Wireshark or kind of something like that. So now let's uh can try something. Yeah, Wireshark might not respond immediately, right? So that's why I always like to open multiple windows. So where you have the TCP.stream, right? So erase everything. Just type ICMP. Let's see what happens. Then hit enter. If it doesn't, then you will restart the query. Right. So ICMP, then hit enter. So let's filter ICMP. You also hit enter. Right. So you can see now it's showing us only ICMP queries and protocols. And then the only ICMP, the only person running ICMP, it's you, right? So from your Kali, even from your server, we saw it, right? So 50 dots. So the point I'm trying to make here now, not just because ICMP is just a plain something which you can see even at a glance. Right. So where I'm heading to now, see this IP, okay? Wish I can click my mouse on move my mouse on or give me access. But just follow me. Just follow me, right? So where you have source IP address, you can hear me, right, Mr. Truth?
Yeah, yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, so where you have source IP 192.168.50.1 what?
30.
Yeah, 130 is running a ping to destination which is 8.8.8, right? You could see that if you take your cursor the next line, you see that 8.8.8 becomes the destination is responding. You know, when you want a ping, you want to get you are expecting a request, right? So ping is which is you can see by the where you have the information, there's a ping in brackets. If you get what I'm saying, like you'll be moving your mouse. So just to like what I'm saying, and you're the one showing the screen. So when you move your mouse, it tells me that oh you're saying right. So echo 98 ping yeah request right. So the byte and the likes right. So now right. So the response is positive, right? So you have internet control message protocol. So come down to where you have just down where you have the dark environment, right? So down. Here you have internet control message protocol here by your left side. Yeah, so the left side now, up a little. Yeah, up a little. You see internet no, up. Yeah, fine. So there's an arrow pointing to the left. right? So very important. So sometimes you want to see at a glance, right? So even without filtering, you want to see, yeah, how many requests or the field, the header, all of that, so all of those information, because this is related. You know, you selected a particular uh, query. You've already filtered. Right, so let's assume there are a couple of users spawning pings, even though it's not ping, maybe it's IODP. So you don't want to start investigating one. So you just want to see, okay, oh, at a glance, this particular IP did IODP. Let me see. It will show you the protocol, one information. Okay, this is not what I'm looking for. Right. So you move to the click on the particular one. So the when you click on another one, right? So might be different results or different outputs. Click on, I mean, not that one now. No. Like on the where you have number, time, source IP, destination IP. No. Where you saw the IP addresses. No. On the Wireshark this thing itself.
The Wireshark
Mm,
one.
The Wireshark filter.
Yeah.
Yes. Click on yes. Click on any other. You know you selected one before. Select another
Mm.
one now. Let it be 8.8. Select the next one. Maybe 8.8. Yeah. From there. Yeah. Select that one. Like so now. So yeah. Click on that. Right. So I'm just giving you instance. For instance, you've seen so many um results from different IP addresses and destination, source and destination. So you just click. Yeah. Go back again there and click on the next. No, not that one. Where you click that saw that 8.8. No. Hold on. Return back that internet control message for that, the one you collapse. Right now. Now leave your cursor there. Now go back to where you have 8.8. Don't collapse it. Now click on something else. Click on something else. Right. So I'm just giving you see it changes. Probably you're trying to compare or trying to see it's the same way of analyzing or trying to compare. So okay,
Mm.
this one has a relative checksum of XYZ, total
Mm.
bytes pooled, right? So because the information here by the far right, so will not give us everything that we need, right? So you've scrolled up to pause. You didn't filter at that point. You just want to see, oh, this RDP that I saw, right? So where is it coming from, right? So how long has it been? The user has been connection or when the time it was initiated. You just want to see at a glance, or if it's ARP app, right? So you want to see the MAC addresses, the frame headers. So you don't need to always right click and follow stream. So now right click on one, just like you did the first time. So one of the so just right click here. So let's right click on that. Right. So say follow. Let's see what we have there on the follow. See if there's anything for us. So
It's not coming up.
yes. So yeah, it's just click move your mouse up like right. Okay. Yeah. So it's just ICMP and it's already showing us at a glance. So the destination is the actual essence of it is just to confirm the status of a device, the packet sent, the packet received, the packet lost, right? So the bytes. So that's just what the ICMP will do. Right. So now let's see your critical type it's up. Right. So because we need to access it, we need to configure the Mikotic router. Very. I don't know. It's taking forever. So let's see the Mikotic router. Right. So just hit enter. Click the black screen. Let your cursor disappear. Then hit enter. So I don't know why it's taking this forever. Right. So I don't know. But that's when I was talking. So when I was sharing my screen, just would have turned it on.
Yeah.
Probably by then, now it would have been up. So we really don't know why. Yeah, it takes long. But mine doesn't really. Let me see. Let me come to my screen, see if mine is up. Okay, mine even take this long now. Just that's my credential. I don't know if if I just reset this. It was I was trying to uh, the password. Sorry. So I'm trying to see if I can access mine. So I'll tell you what I want us to do. Um, what password did I? Okay, I can't recall. I don't know if I was the one that configured this. Right. So the reason why you've not been able to, like, I wanted us to do an update on your the components on your carding. Right. So that error message, we'll come back to it now. So I'm trying to see if I can access my card my Mikoti counter. So I don't know who configured this. Uh, I know his name is last name. Is it up? Is that true?
No. Yeah, it's up now.
Fine, that's fine. So let me just come back to your screen. So I need this because part of the task you'll be doing, right? So we need it. So I think it's admin, and you give it you give admin as your password.
Well, yeah, I think so.
I don't know the password you give it to, but just type your username. Username is admin. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I've not seen you type anything. Okay. Let me see if I save my password. Because that's this. So just scroll down. You know the password you gave it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So just scroll down. Let's see the end of it. So there's a ruler bar by your far right. So just scroll down.
My cursor, I can't find it again.
Control us. I will release it. Alright, so that's fine now. So now come to the Windows server. Your Winbox should be able to capture the MAC address now. So don't do this now. Another time, please. You
Of
can do
course.
this when yeah. You can do this when we are done. Right. So it has captured the MAC address now because the device is up. So now double click on the first MAC address, the one that is showing 0. Yeah. So password is to give a password. Just type the password.
Yeah, done.
So just connect them. Connect. Right. So we are in the device now. Right. Even the Wireshark tool will capture what you just did now. Right. So if you check very well, you see that Wireshark has captured this guy. Windows Server is communicating with the Mikrotik. Right. So it will show you the medium or the protocol. Right. So but let's just quickly set this guy. Okay, no, Wireshark will not capture it because there's no IP address assigned to that device. So we only use um, use the MAC address. So there will just be a keep alive traffic from that and from that server. So come to IP, because the first thing we need to do, we want to be able to uh, um, we want to be able to communicate with this guy via the network. We want to be on the same network with us, with other devices. So come to IP, then you see addresses. So just click on addresses. You can see that there are a whole lot that the file, the Migotic router can do with this network, right? So that's there's firewall, IPsec, and the likes. So now click on the plus. This address. All right. So before you configure any IP, right? So because you're going to attend to, you're going to, okay, let's see this. I just want you to see this. The interface part, right? The Migotic counter has two interfaces, this particular one, right? So click on that interface, you see Ethernet 1 and 2. There's a drop down, right? So just click on the drop down on the interface. And so there's interface 1 and 2. So the one where you have address, so we'll configure the first. So take notes, you configured, or you designated interface. The Mikoti card has support. When you were connecting it last time, the last session we had, you attach VMNets. You attach port A to VMnet 0, right? Then the second port to VMnet 1, right? So which I now say that the Mikoti router will not get IP address automatically, because JCP is either not enabled, right? So on one of the interface, because VMnet 0, any device attached to VMnet 0 should get the IP address automatically, right? So this is the reason why. So assuming this is set up for DHCP, right? So you just get IP address automatically, right? So now let's do IP address. So now you're going to do this. I'm not going to tell you. So you just tell me based on what I just said. So we are setting up for Ethernet 1, right? And you need to configure an IP address that is suitable, or that is part of that network address. So I will not tell you the network address. I also will not tell you the IP address. You make the choice. It's your choice. So if it is 192.168, maybe .100.5. I mean 500.0 in that network. The devices the IP address on some of the devices you've gotten so far. Um, Maybe you've gotten 100.20, 100.50. So just configure something suitable for this, because it. And I would like the two IP addresses to be the two last octets for the Ethernet 1 and Ethernet 2 to be the same, but the third octet definitely will be different. Right. So now go ahead and do this. So now this is the address. So I don't know the exact IP address you want to give it. So 50.10 or 50.100. So it's your choice. So now do the network marks. Right. So you're not done with that one. So just do it slash 24. Right. So now the network marks should be, what's the network address of this IP address that you just configured now? So what was it? All the
It's 192.168.10.10.
the network address.
Yeah.
No, you don't need to go anywhere. Just look at the IP very well. You've configured a valid IP address. So what's the network address? The network address, the network identifier of this net. The actual word is network address or network ID.
I've forgotten, honestly. Trying to think. Oh, wait.
The name of the streets. Okay, let me rephrase it this way. Right. So you've configured as the network administrator. Okay, I'm the network administrator, and I came to my you just got onboarded in my organization, right? So your laptop, we were told to configure an IP address manually, right? So
That
for
should
your
be
device to be on my network.
to be
Hmm?
192.168.50 dot
It should
50
be
dot
50.
zero.
It should be 50.0 because it's just the network identifier, and
Mm.
that's so it's not to be assigned to anybody.
Yeah.
So if you just come to my network, I'll tell you, oh, Mr. Chooks, we are our network address is 192.168.50.0. So I've given you a glimpse of what the network address is, the name of the suite. So what you would do, right, is to say, okay, I have okay, I cannot tell you the range which you would configure. So I've already told you the network address. So that's just what we need, right?
Mm.
So, right. So why we need it? Because if it is subnetted with the network address, this IP knows where it belongs,
Yeah.
right? So 50.0. So Ethernet one. So you apply this one now. Add another one. So that the next one will be it's CH2, right? So just okay, click OK. Add another one, right? So it will be CH2. Take notes.
Mm.
So, like I said, I'm not going to tell you what you're doing here, right? So, but I'm just wondering why you're configuring 50.95 here. But you should know what to do here. So, and if you want to confirm, you can confirm. You can go back and confirm. So, you will not just be looking at it as oh this. So, if you understand your network, right, which I've laid emphasis on, so you know that oh in fact, the way I actually want you to confirm is not just like here where you are going to. So it's just a pretty way of faster way of oh because if your network, please can you close that? So I don't mistakenly click on restart. Once you click on restart, we are done.
Mm. 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 Is it 10.10?
Mm.
Ah.
Sudo
Mm.
install I'll get that card.
I think I need a rescue.
Hmm? I didn't get that, Mr. Truth.
I need rescue. I need help with this. I think it's
No, okay, let me not just provide the answer. So let me just you'll be the one to provide the answer. So let me just make it. So I want you to understand it now, right? So that's why it's good to understand the network. So because we're not just monitoring, we want to understand network devices and IP addresses. So together with protocols, right? So your Mikotic router has two ports or two adapters or interfaces, two network interfaces, right? So you attached one, you connected one, which is Ethernet one, Ethernet Please
Yeah.
make this interface 2 because I already say it should be on
Yeah,
interface
yeah,
2. So
yeah,
what
yeah.
I'm saying will flow well. Right. So Ethernet 1 has been attached to VMnet 0. Then Ethernet 2 was attached to what VMnet 1. Right, so your Ethernet 0, it's 192.168.50, which you manually configure, statically configure the actual IP, the appropriate IP address for that segment or that network segment. Right, so now the Ethernet 2, now you need to configure an IP address, a valid IP address that falls on that second network segments where you attach this Ethernet to, or this Mikotic router second port or adapter. Right, so the first one is 50.0, the second one is what? So where is the second one? What's something dot zero, or maybe I just want to, I don't know if that helps. Did
Oh,
you get?
no,
So
no.
okay, right, so this is 10.0. So now to this will be 10 dots something. You get, you have VMnet 0. I'm just taking it back to your network that you created. You created VMnet 0 network from your edits. When we were doing this again now, on your laptop, which I said you've done, I've told you several times that, oh, you have to come back to, I even say you should go back to that video that I've done before to help you to understand your network. So when we're setting it up, I just gave one or two explanation on this network where I made mention that, oh, for you to understand better, probably you go to one of the video when we're setting up your entire network, which I explained much more in detail. So you have VMnet 0, you have VMnet 1, VMnet 2, and VMnet 3, right? So VMnet 0 is NATed, which is 50.0, and gives IP address automatically, right? So VMnet 1 is host only, right? Which is 192.168.10.0, right? So your VMnet 3 is host only, which is 192.168.20.0, right? So why your VMnet 2 is host only 192.168.20.0, why your VMnet 3 is on bridge to your wireless, right? I don't know if you get what I'm saying, right? So now your Mikotic router is attached to VMnet 0 and VMnet 1, right? So you've given, because you set up 50.0 on your VMnet 0, 50.0 on your VMnet 0. So you now give this Mikotic router Ethernet 1 because it was attached to VMnet 0. You now give it 192.168.50 dot something. Now the Ethernet 2, now you attach to VMnet 1, right? So VMnet 1, you already gave it 192.168.10.0. It means that you'll be giving this Ethernet 2 192.168.10 dot something. I don't know if that helps.
Yeah. Well, I'll still have to go through that video and note it down. So this one will be 192.168.
Right. So I would like that last update to be the same with that 50 dots. That first one, I gave 50 dots what?
50.0, the network.
No, 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 the IP, the IP. Right.
50.90.
Right. So let this one be 10.90 as well. So you do your slash 24. Then complete the network address. Then apply. Then okay. All right. So that's fine. So the next thing we would want to do is we'll still come back to do one or two configurations. So I'll walk you through, right? So because I want us to end the session in the next maybe 5 minutes or there about 10 minutes, right? So every that will be the task or the assignment, right? So now
Okay.
you have your Mikutic router being you being accessed from your server, right? So we've already configured IP. So what should you do next? As a not generally not whether you're cybersecurity or as maybe as the network administrator now. So you've configured the IP. What do you think you should do next? Right. So what's the next thing to do? Right. So for this device, there are a lot of things you would want to do at times as time goes on. Right. So or based on the of reason or purpose why you got this device. Right. So what do you think you should do next? Advice is advisable you do next. Right. So now you
What,
configured an IP. Initially, you accessed it using MAC address. So you configured an IP. So what should you do?
it's to
what do you
confirm if like ping the host.
which host are you, which device or host are you pinging?
Both the
Hmm?
10.90.
Yeah, so now that's very good. So you need to confirm, you need to even see you can if you can access it using that IP. Right,
Yeah.
so now if you look at the top, it's showing the MAC address that you used to access it on this win box. So you look at it, so you want a ping, and it means that you can now access it even using your web browser, right? So because there is an IP address. So now just want a ping, right? So want a continuous ping from the server to the microtik. So if you can, if it's accessible, you can ping anyone because your server I think is attached to those two networks, right? So now now allow it, yeah. So it's the first time you just now do it again. Use the up arrow key, then do give a space. Click the up arrow, then give a space and do hyphen C, small letter hyphen C, or right. So hit enter. So now Wireshark should capture this. Yeah, definitely. So it tells you that this is reachable, right? So then you can go on and now access it, right? So or someone that wants to access it, want to do all the necessary communication, now it's up. Go ahead, right? So you need to confirm before telling someone that it's up. So right, so the next thing that we want to do is security, right? So security because this is security majorly security course. So that's first thing that comes to mind is security, right? So there are a lot of things that we can do on this, right? So the password that you created is that password even yeah, it's strong enough, right? So what's the firewall? Is it firewall or you need to check if it's telnet is that's what is enabled or active on this guy, right? So we don't want people to just access this device using telnet. We want them to use maybe SSH, right? So now confirm that your Wireshark is running. Right. So I would have said we should do this. Right. So but I want to use it as a assignment. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. Right. So but let me tell you what you would do. Mr. Chris, are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Right. So I don't think this one was added to what you'll be doing. Right. So I don't think this one was added because I still want us to come back to this Picotic. But what I want you to do, right? So now come to your main box. So this is what you are adding, you are doing, right? So you would add it to okay, let's just do it. Let's just do it. Right. So let's just do it. Right. So let's do it. So now call up that putty. Call up the putty. Call up the putty. Right. So just take note of this of what we are doing. Right. So this thing it's generally you said you've used putty before, right?
Yeah, but it's been long.
Right. So it's generally putty is something I still use, even though we are providing support anywhere, even the bank or any just okay, see them doing the putty or so their router or they have their own remote terminal emulator or something, right? So which they would use, right? So it can be a ODP especially for the depend on the device, the remote device that is being accessed, right? So if you look very well here now, I would have said you should just give me control. I just feel you capture what I'm saying. Look at your screen where you have SSH, right? It's checked. You can see SSH is checked.
Mm-hmm.
So if the device you want to access, if SSH port is opened, I don't know if you know what I'm saying. If the port is opened, is enabled, right? So that device that wants to have access to me will only access me via SSH because that port is opened. So that's where we come to Nmap port scanning, right? So to know ports that are open. Wireshark will not tell us all of those things. Right, so but you administrator, you already know that SSH is open because you configured it. So someone that's is not administrator. He wants to know that Mr. Chuk's router or Mikotic router, SSH or telnet or this port is open. He will not use Wireshark. So the only thing Wireshark will capture if that port is being used at that moment, Wireshark captures it. I don't know if you get what I'm saying.
Mm.
Right. So, but how do I know if this port is open? I've seen that this device is on the network. So then we'll not use Nmap or any other tool, right? So to confirm that to confirm certain ports that are open. Now click on telnet. So what we want to confirm here now is want to telnet into no. Where you have okay, yes, sorry. I think wait I wanted to say Syria. Right. So the next one is Syria. So if you are accessing this device via a console, not console, yeah, console cable, a COM port, communication port, maybe your Mikotic, not Miko, yeah, the Mikotic router can have
A
a COM
cable.
port. Yes, via a console cable, all over cable. Right, so if it's a router, you want to access it via this console ports, right? So you can use this one, right? So this COM1 or COM2 is determined by the when you get to device manager, the USB or the connection. It can be COM1, it can be COM2. After you confirm that, you can now change it to either 2 or 3 or 1, right? So if not, it will not be accessible, right? So when we're configuring our router and switch, right? So I explained this part, right? And I also showed you a picture online, right? So explain this part. So if you are connecting the device, if you want to access your router or your switch physically using PuTTY, right? You will use you use Serial, right? So via its console port. Then when you come to order, automatically switch to telnet, right? So come to order, click on order. Right, so now you can now type the IP address, the host name, or IP address of the device you want to have access to. Right, so 192.168, is it 50.1 or 10.1, 50.90? Right, thank you. 50.90. Okay, hold on now. So before you do 50.90, what we are capturing on Wireshark is on 50, right?
Yeah.
So if you do 10 here, Wireshark will not see it. The reason why, because so I just want you to tell me, right? So why? I've already answered it, but I want you to
Because
amplify
it's
it.
not
So,
declared.
hmm?
Because it's not what is declared.
Thank you. So we are monitoring via 50 dots. So I just want to be sure that you you grasp what I said.
Yeah.
So
Because
and
it's
if
showing. If you look at where my cursor is, you can see it's showing 50, 192.168, 50 dots. Can you
yeah,
see it?
exactly. So yes, so exactly. So now if you look very well, you see port 23. When you on SSH, it showed port 22. But now on Telnet, it is showing, or if you can go back to SSH, you see that it will show you port 22. Right. So if you come to order now, when it goes to Telnet, it will be serial. That's 96,000. That's the baud,
Speed.
the speed. Right. So now the port is 23 now. So now when you click open, right? So this is on Telnet. So it takes you to the Mikotic router, right? So this takes you to the Mikotic router. So click on open now, right? So you want to access now. You provide the username and password of that Mikotic router, that device you want to have access to. So we want to see if Wireshark will capture this for us. Then the password. Now go to the Wireshark. Now let's quickly go to the Wireshark to look at a glance to see if Telnet has been captured. So probably it must have the same. Okay, this one you filter ICMP. Okay. I think let's look at another one because I'm seeing more of ICMP here on this one. All right, so because ICMP runs continuously, right? So
Mm-hmm.
you've already done telnet, so probably the no need to stop it, right? So let it just do its own thing, right? So you've already done telnet, so we don't know if telnet was seen or was captured here, right? So we don't know if telnet was captured here. So still just take a look at it, right? So I actually would prefer, oh, we just scroll up, right? So it's before filtering, right? So just because you are aware that you did this, what if you are not aware? You're just going to filter, right?
Yeah.
If it might not be you, someone would do this, right? So because this ICMPS, it runs continuously. In fact, I would have just say, oh, stop this and do it again. Stop the ICMP and redo it again. But let's just filter telnet because of time, right? So because we spend time. So let's just type telnet. So let's if actual telnet was done here. Right, so you can see telnet was carried out in this network, and you can see the IP address 50 dot what 128. That's from
It's,
your Windows server, right? So 50.90, that's the device, the IP address of your Mikotic router, right? So the IP you give it on that 50.0 network, and you could see that the source and destination changes, right? So telnet. So now let's filter. So now just which one should we? How do we? Okay, let's try the first one. Right click on it. I click on the first one, then just do a follow and TCP stream. Let's see if this captures the password. Right, so the username is admin, then the password is admin. You can see here the username and password is there. Right, so it has been captured. So just pretty what we need on attacker need is just this username and password. So generally you can just say, oh, he's using anyone using internet for security reasons. Like I said, this is security code. If you have your mindset is has been wired, right? So for the good aspects of it, right? So not the bad aspects. But when you see a telnet password like this, you tell your whoever is in charge, right? So but if someone mindset has been wired, right, to compromise systems, right? So you on your own, it's very easy. Just you might not even need a putty from terminal. You can just do telnet, right? So telnet space the IP address, then space maybe 23. You are using Kali, or you do if you are using Windows, enable telnet clients on your Windows from via the control panel, right? So then telnet will function on the Windows. So then you can just call up command prompts, then telnet space the IP address, right? So it will take you into that device. You enter the username and password that you provided. All right, so I want to take a screenshot. Take a screenshot here. Right, so but you move this to the right. Move this to the right. I don't know if you can hear me. So we are going to end it here. So we will not meet tomorrow. All right, so it's just the tax. So you just have that because if we meet tomorrow, we are still coming back to this, right? So I want you to do the tax on the Wireshark. So when we meet again, we are reviewing the tax, the assignment. So any day, Tuesday or Wednesday that I feel it's fine and stable for you and I will let you know. I don't know if that's fine.
that's all right.
So just move it to your right. Just move it to your right.
Yeah, I've done that.
Like I want to see telnets on the Wireshark being captured. I don't know if you get.
Yeah.
Thank you. Right. So now, so do a screenshot, same way you took that screenshot, right? So do this. So the reason why I say you should do these screenshots, right? So you see the way you're doing this when you're submitting the assignment or the task, right? So you do screenshots and you can. This screenshot is not fine because of the other ones that are. So you have to restart it. So just click out. Just do a new. Right. So do new now. Or you click out first. Thank you. Right. So now, so when you're submitting screenshot and one or two comments. Right. So another thing again, why taking screenshot? Last time I spoke, I told you about documenting and showing stuffs based on like things that you're doing. Right. So we're documenting them. So anyone that you need to engage on via your social media space, right? So you capture, I want to talk about this. So like I made mention of telnet, yeah, not a secured and unencrypted protocol. So how you were able to capture password credentials, right? So from XYZ device to this, right? So
Cool.
all right, so that's fine. So if you don't get your the assignment between now, I want to review it. I want to add to it. So if you don't get it
Okay.
between now and let's say 6 7 p.m. tomorrow, please just do me a reminder. So it's a pretty simple thing. In fact, every step by step is there, right? It's just
Okay.
for you to practice and filter, and so you can go further and inspect or analyze it. Yeah, right. So in addition to what all I've said. So everything is just like like I was saying. So the course is not actually giving you every, but it gives you that fundamental, that thing that you need to know. So on your own or on my own, I can even there's some things I might not even remember now. There's some things you will come back to me based on your own additional, your own your own research and the likes. Right, so it doesn't stop there. So, but at least you understand, oh, we are in tune, or these are the fundamental, these are the things I need to know. So that's why I keep saying, if anybody gives me any other part, if I'm not familiar, maybe any SIM too, I'm not familiar with, right? So, but I know how this particular SIM work, this same application works, right? So it's very easy for me to just navigate, find my way around it. All right. So, Mr. Chris, that will be all for now, right? So we meet again. I will just let you know.
All
Right.
right,
So
bro.
right, cheers. But your assignment would have to come first before we meet because I have
Okay.
to submit it, right? So it's a pretty straightforward thing. So I believe I'm very sure you get it done. So screenshot it every of your result and put it add it to maybe what document, then one or two comments, right? So what you did. The
Yeah.
objective are okay, I'll review sure. All right, so that will be all for now, Mr. Chu. So I cheers and good night.
Good night, bro. Thank you so much. You're
All right,
amazing.
bye.
Bye, sir.